Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series where we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 68th episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, also the 8th episode of Season 2, titled The Power Stealer. We begin this episode at the juice bar where the cleanup drive is taking place. In fact, reporters are there to interview Angel Grove High teens about how the parks are so trashed and they're gonna be cleaning them up. There's a rumor that the Power Rangers may show up, and Zach awkwardly says that they don't know them. Bulk and Skull get boners about a TV from 1994, and they offer to help the reporter, who is a passive bitch for no reason to them. They're going to wait until the Rangers show up, jump in, and rip off their helmets, and reveal who the Power Rangers really are. Lord Zed thinks it's gross how the Rangers want to clean stuff, so he's going to make a monster called the Octo Phantom, cross between an octopus and an elephant. No time to see that monster through though, because it's time for a park cleaning montage. The cameraman is there getting footage of it for the news, and he leaves it set up. Tommy is getting interviewed while putties show up and everyone panics, and we see everyone scatter away, and we keep focusing on this camera. Kim, Jason, and Tommy fight the putties as we cut back to the camera. Zed uses this opportunity to send down the Octo Phantom, and the Rangers all morph right in front of the camera. Idiots. The three fight the putties until the Octo Phantom gets bored of watching these stunt people do their jobs, using a jar to suck Tommy's powers up with a Photoshop smudge tool before he just sucks in Tommy. And Kim just stops and waves. All the bad guys disappear with Tommy while Jason and Kim teleport out. In case you forgot, that camera's still running. At the command center, Alpha researches the monster. Bulk and Skull find the camera still running, and they realize that the Power Rangers showed up while it was, so they grab the tape and leave. In the command center, Billy reads from a readout that it's an octopus-elephant hybrid somehow. In a cave, Translucent Zed talks smack to Green Ranger, who is tied to a pillar. He says that since they're so against graffiti, he's going to make his monster do some crappy artwork. Zordon lets the Rangers know that the monster is in West Union Park, defacing the Pacific Heritage Monuments. Random, but it's Morphin time! The five flip into action, punching the monster immediately before they get tossed away. Then he throws clay at them that explodes. I'm beginning to believe that this was more about the monster being an artist than anything else. Billy hangs back, waiting for a weak spot. Then the monster catches its own reflection and gets a boner about it. He sucks up Trini, Zach, and Kim into his jar before he disappears, telling Billy and Jason to meet him at the quarry. At the command center, Billy says that this monster is super vain, so they need to invent a device to exploit that part of him and stop him. Jason heads out alone to do battle and to hold the monster off until Billy shows up. In the quarry, Octo Phantom shows up and points to the Rangers tied to pillars. Jason uses this as fuel for his anger for some reason, and he attempts to fight the monster on his own, but he's not doing so hot. The Octo Phantom takes out his jar when Billy's power lance comes flying out of nowhere, hitting him. Luckily, Billy has built a shield that has a mirror on the inside of it. I feel like all Billy knows how to do is put mirrors in things. Jason fights the monster with the shield while Billy jumps up to save the others from being captive on the pillars. Then Jason is cornered, so he opens a mirror shield, distracting the monster long enough to shoot him. Billy frees the others and he touches Tommy's morpher to send him back to the command center because he's turning gray for some reason. The Rangers pull out their power weapons to presumably form the Power Blaster, but they never get the chance because Zed just makes the monster grow. The Rangers call out their Thunder Zords and form the Thunder Megazord. Then the Thunder Megazord and the Octo Phantom actually touch each other in the same frame! American Zord footage. It's very little, if anything, but it's a first. And before we get too into it, the Rangers use a Thunder Saber and kill the Octo Phantom pretty quickly. At the youth center, the Rangers celebrate their win when Zach asks about Tommy and Kim says he'll be fine. Bulk and Skull walk in with the tape from the park, explaining that they have on tape who the Power Rangers really are. Jason puts his hands in front of the VCR and Zach says that they should label the tape first, and he and Billy switch the tapes. Of course, there's just a cartoon on the tape instead. Billy's going to release the tape later, and Bulk is so upset that he got thwarted once again. This is another odd one that definitely felt like a season 1 episode. Tommy is pretty insignificant to the plot, and now that I'm thinking about it, literally no one's powers got stolen at all. I feel like this episode should have been called Captive in a Jar, or An Octo Phantom Never Forgets, or something just as dumb. That being said, it could have been way worse of an episode, but it just felt so generic. Kind of like the team is treading water waiting for something else to happen now. Will something new happen in the next episode? Find out next time, but until then, may the power protect you.